Are you contemplating selling your books direct on Shopify or WooCommerce? Is it because you're tired of seeing the KU payouts decrease over time? Is it because you're struggling to get visibility on these third-party platforms and you just are trying to find any way that you can connect with the customer? Are you contemplating purchasing a course to teach you how to sell books directly through Shopify or WooCommerce or other direct sales platforms? If you answered yes to any of this stuff, then you need to watch this video, because before you put all that time and effort and money into moving to a direct sales platform, there are things you need to consider and prepare for to make sure that it's a success. I'm Joe Solari, and I help authors build great businesses. And I'm going to talk about what you need to know before you dive into direct sales. So with all the things that are going on in the marketplace, I've just seen a lot of stuff around people contemplating selling direct. There's amazing success stories, ones that I've been part of and that I've seen. When I was just recently at NINC, there was multiple sessions on how to sell direct and people talking about the ways to do that. But there's some things I've observed that, if they're not done right, can really get yourself into trouble. So I have a couple things that I'd like to go through in this video, some questions that I think you need to have answered before you do anything around direct sales. So let's get into those questions. The first question is, who is the customer that you seek? This one is very, very important, because a lot of the folks that are leaving platforms like Amazon, when they move into direct sales, all they do is look to get people from Amazon to move over to direct sales. Now, a portion of your audience, your fans that really want to support you, will move over. But if the majority of your sales, and a lot of genres, 60 to 90% of the sales can be inside Kindle Unlimited, those customers aren't going to leave because the value proposition within Kindle Unlimited is so great. You may be their favorite author, but you leaving, does that mean they're going to leave too? Or are they just going to use that time that they spend reading in KU with somebody else in your genre? On the flip side of that is, if you are successful in KU and you're looking to move direct, then why not focus on a different customer? A customer that's prepared to pay full price, a customer that likes to buy books one at a time. The different things that you think that the customer that you don't have today would be like, let's look for them, which means you may have no information at all about this customer today, and that's okay. Okay. You're going to have to figure that stuff out before you dive into the platform. If we want to find this avatar somewhere, we're going to have to craft that avatar, understand where they hang out, and figure out, do you have something that they want? And that brings us to the second question. What's your brand promise for them? For most authors, when I talk to them and I bring up this idea of brand promise, they really can't put their finger on it and get a succinct answer. They go to, I write in this genre, I write smutty, I write clean. They don't really have a way of articulating what it is that they deliver to their ideal reader. That tends to be around the emotional and experiential part of reading, not necessarily about genre and the size of the books and the things that we technically think about when we're trying to sort our books into categories on Amazon. This is how readers think about books. And when you can touch on that and you can get that information into your marketing and into your product, then it's going to be a lot easier for customers to connect with your product and see that it's what they desire. Remember, we're not trying to convert people in the sense of a religion to your brand. What we are trying to do is help them see that your brand meets their unmet need. That unmet need is already out there. So how can we get that to really snap quickly with them to, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So they grab onto it. And in this particular situation, does that align with that customer you seek? Those two pieces have to fit together to make this thing work well. The third question is the sales acquisition strategy aligned with the brand promise and attracting the customer you seek? This gets to how you evaluate the different courses that are out there that are going to teach you how to get direct sales. There's a lot of people out there that are offering information and ways to get to direct selling. People that have shown through their own experience that they've been able to sell a lot of books, people that have helped other people sell books. I'm not saying one course is better than the other. These are the things that lead to success and failure in any course. If you have a crappy book, no course can sell more books of that. Once people buy your first book, if they don't feel that it meets what they seek in a reading experience, they won't buy from you again. That's not their fault in how they've set up your store. That's the product quality issue. And a lot of authors don't want to look at that being the issue. But let's assume in your case, that's not the case. That's off the table. Then the next thing is really looking at the course strategy. What is it that they are talking about on how they're going to have you find customers? If you're looking for somebody that is going to buy books and pay $6.99 for an ebook, using discount strategies to pull up sales can be detrimental to your long-term ability to get those customers. Sure, we all want sales fast, especially when we've just made this big significant investment in time and money in direct sales. But if everything you're doing is designed to find a fast purchased, low value customer, then that's what you're going to propagate in your system. Think about this. One of the amazing things that happens when you go direct is you're able to feed back more information into the system. So if you're using something like Facebook advertising with Shopify, there's a closed loop where you can go and seek new customers, become discovered, have a sale, use that data of the sale and the journey on that process through the funnel to then go find more people like that. And it's going to concentrate and it's going to amplify. It gives you cumulative advantage in a super powered way when you get this to work right. But if the case is that you're teaching your system, the machine learning, to go find the fastest, quickest purchase, and you're baiting that with deals or bundles, then you're doing things that are going to be long-term detrimental. In the case of using large bundles at a discount, while that can be very enticing to a potential customer, how much of your backlist value are you selling in that slug when you do that? Because if you don't have a huge backlist and you have a 9-book series and you sell the first 3 books in that series at a huge discount, you've just devalued 1/3 of the proposition that you have for any new customer until you write new books. Think these things through and make sure that they are all aligned. The customer you seek, your brand promise, and the acquisition strategy. Now, if you're looking for low-cost customers and you have a big backlist and you want to just sell a lot of books, maybe then the thing to do is use one of those strategies. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm asking you to take the time to think through it for what makes sense for you and your business, not just because what you heard on the internet or you saw in a Facebook group is somebody saying they're making a bunch of money at this. Because I know for a fact, after looking at so many author businesses, that they're not telling you how much the cost of acquisition is for those clients. And after time, they don't really share that they haven't made a profit. They've had a lot of sales. They may come out and say, hey, I had a 6-figure month, but they didn't tell you that to get that 6 figures, they spent 70% of that money in advertising. So really, they haven't grown their business that much. They've just inflated things. And when you compound that with the fact that you're selling a significant amount of your backlist at a discount, your overall economics in your business are going to deteriorate really fast. And I've seen this happen in the past to a lot of businesses. So again, not picking on any particular way or strategy. And I do believe that direct sales is critical for all authors to succeed in the future. and is by far the best strategy you can have because you have so much control over the experience that your readers will have, what the sales experience will be, what the marketing experience will be, and eventually what the reading experience is going to be. One last thing that you should look at, and that is, what are all the things that are required to achieve the one last thing to look at. When evaluating any course or strategy, figure out what are all the pieces and parts that are necessary to execute on that strategy. For most cases, it's not just having a Shopify store. It requires plugins to that Shopify store. It requires a domain. There may be ancillary software needed to support the system, costs money to have so that you can get the data to do the analytics to make the whole sales process work. You need to understand what all those costs are of time and money for that software. And then are you going to be somebody that's going to be learning that stuff and understanding that stuff to use it to its full extent? When you step into doing direct sales, you're going to get closer than you've ever been to your customer. And that means a lot more work. That means you're going to be dealing with returns. You're going to be dealing with people not understanding how to use your website. You're going to be dealing with how you consistently market your products and how you're doing various launches to the platform so that you do sell product. All of those things are going to take more time away from your writing, and be prepared to understand what those costs are. All of this needs to be baked into your strategy. Now, one last thing. Let's talk about a pricing strategy for you as you walk through the idea of going direct. This isn't an either or situation. It isn't leave Amazon and KU or go direct. Think about a model instead where you start to adjust the value proposition for the customer. So if you believe your books on launch are worth $6.99 as an ebook, then you sell the books at $6.99 as an ebook when they come out. When do you move them into something like KU? Well, go and calculate what KU is paying you for that same book. Maybe it's $2.30. Well, when you think the book is worth $2.30, that may be after the series is over and you've really extracted a lot of value out of it, then you move it into a program like Kindle Unlimited. Now, your existing customers are not going to be happy about this because it's a change and they want to get what they want when they want it. But you have to go through the process of explaining to them the value of your work. And you need to believe it enough that you are willing to do the things I'm talking about and stick by selling your book for the price that you expect to get it when it comes out new. Not looking for a fake rank boost by giving a 99-cent discount and doing things that gets you visibility. Focus on the value you can extract from a book when it comes out. Because if you're selling a book direct at $3.99, it's worth about 6 KU customers. So when you start to understand those economics, that at $3.99 direct, the book is worth more customers, then you start to feel a lot better about making these decisions and not being beholden to these other systems that in the past have been your only source of revenue. So I hope that helped you to think through some of the ideas around direct sales. If you do want to get some information about direct sales, different platforms and different ideas, there's a link below that will take you to a Notion page that has a bunch of notes and things that I've put together around direct sales to help you think through some of these decisions. Don't forget to subscribe and like this, and we'll see you in the next video.